Got to get the right lighting right. Good morning. Good morning, people. Today is Thursday. Gosh, it's Thursday already. Seems like yesterday was Friday. Well, good morning, good people. Good morning. Today is Thursday, the 30th of October, second to last day of October 2025. It's about 6 a.m. in the morning here in Pahrump or Pahrump, you choose. Southwestern Nevada. Where? Well, it's west of Sin City, it's east of Death Valley, and it's south of Area 51. This is Art Nori territory, spooky territory. Art Bell, George Nori. I'm doing my cup of coffee here. Not too shabby. Okay, so where are we? Color thing going again. Good morning, Diana. How are things in Portland? Let's see, today is day 4 of week 4. Day 4 of week 4. This is the week on leadership. This is the week on now. The journey is afoot. We have started, and we need to have people, our crew, our people moving forward, helping us do the mission. Okay, clear and cold. So the question would be for Diana. Do you have your crew, your people that are going to help you on your journey? I would say has it been 5 years, Diana? Have I known you for 5 years? Were you a student 5 years ago? Was that when it was? 2020? 2021? Thing is pulling together people. So I would say Diana's challenge is pulling together the right people. You pull together people, but they don't seem to stick. And that's a problem, right? Because then it's like if you have a crew on your boat, you've got a crew, they're constantly wanting to change course, constantly undermining what you want to do. You're battling with the crew, they mutiny, they try to take the ship, and then you finally get them overboard, and now you're on your ship alone. Right. Most of the people have been a challenge to me. Right. So what do? What did David Logan tell us to do back last week? 3.1. Join tribe, nudge forward. Okay, so you're in your school tribe, your wherever you live tribe. What is your church tribe like? What church do you go to? I would say try a denominational church. Try the Methodist church. Try the Lutheran church. Well, maybe not Lutheran. I only say that not because of the doctrine, because of the age of the people there. Try the Methodist church. See if they could help. I wouldn't suggest the Presbyterian or the Anglican. I think that I have the right people now. I go to Nazareth Church. Okay, good. I don't know anything about that church. Is that a non-denominational or is that Church of the Nazarene? Okay, well, you want to participate. You want to go to their Bible study. this Church of the Nazarene that would make you think that the Nazarene is Jesus. You would think, I would hope, that it's completely red letter gospel. Okay, well, let's look at what we've got on our hit parade for today. The theme of today: who are the Jesuits? Who are the Jesuits? Who are these guys? Now, mostly here in Pahrump or Pahrump, Kentucky, when I say I'm going to a Jesuit school, the response is, oh, Jewish. It's like, no, it's not Jewish. Jesuit. Oh, okay, never heard of them. Okay, good. You think you haven't, but that's okay. That's super. Good system. Now you go someplace where there's a Jesuit university, or like I was on the phone yesterday with people from Oracle. And the question was, and the person was in South San Francisco. The question was, do you have anybody on your team who has any financial knowledge? And I said, well, yeah, I received an undergraduate degree in finance from Santa Clara. And I barely got the sentence finished, and she said, that's great. So there was no pause like, Santa Clara, have I ever heard of it? If I have, what is that? Blah, blah, blah. No, it was just, okay, great, super, excellent, got it, done, handled. Who are the Jesuits? That is the topic for today. We'll get into that a little bit later. Maybe we'll talk about the Black Pope. But first, let's start with advice from an 80-year-old. Live your life so that your epitaph could read, no regrets. No regrets. Next. Let's see, what do we have? Darren Hardy, that was a good one. The question to ask. The one question that instantly fixes team dysfunction. What do we need to stop doing? What are we doing that we need to stop or change? Okay, spoiler alert. Let's look at Seth Godin. See what Seth has to say. A little ahead versus a little behind. When we're a little behind, we borrow to catch up. Perhaps we borrow goodwill and spend less time than we might on a project. Or we need some money to pay the rent, so we borrow against a paycheck. And a good night's sleep is tempting to borrow from as well. The borrowing compounds with small debts turning into bigger ones. On the other hand, when we're a little ahead, we're not charged interest, we earn it. The slack in our workday gives us a chance to plan, to do work on our own account, and to see the big picture. The difference between behind and ahead is often comes down to how much we've promised the world. If our apartment is too expensive, our customer list is too big, or our social media platform is hard to keep up with, it's easy to fall a bit behind. This is under our control. Over-delivering on smaller promises is a shortcut to trust, loyalty, and resilience. I think that's the key takeaway. Over-delivering on small promises is a shortcut to trust, loyalty, and resilience. Over-deliver on small rather than under-deliver on big. So that is one I need to take to heart, because as I've said before, my typical modus operandi is my reach exceeds my grasp. I've gone the 7 feet I just need 1 more inch. Can somebody help me get 1 more inch? And when I fail, it's because I can't get that 1 inch. So what Seth Godin is saying is, don't go the 7 feet, go the 6 feet 11. Not always, but as an example, over-deliver on smaller commitments rather than under-deliver on big commitments. Now, what do you do? What do you do, Diana? Do you over-deliver on small things or under-deliver on big things? While you're thinking about that, I'll talk about a meeting I had yesterday where the person said they're here, they see the opportunity, my words, the harvest is ripe, but the workers are few. And he said he's waiting for instructions. And I said, my perspective is the field has been cleared of the debris. You know what to do. You just need to go do it. You just need to do it. You just need to boomba, make it happen. Okay. Should we talk about Cognify? That was yesterday, or the Jesuits. Let's just finish on Cognify. So once again, Cognify, what is Cognify? Cognify is a German company that claims, or there are YouTube videos claiming that it has the ability to quickly rewire people's brains. In 3 minutes, you can experience what 25 years in prison, what feels like 25 years in prison, and the pain of the victim and the victim's family. Were it true, that would be great, because that's a good way to, in effect, reorient people to a better life. Right? What's the problem? Abuse. Who gets to decide what happens? And let's say you have a perfect system in place of checks and rechecks and psychologists. If the inmate is given a choice, you can do this or that. When you do this, this is how you're going to go, oh yeah, I want to be a better person. I really do. I really, really, really do. And you have all of the checks in place so that when it's implemented properly, you get the intended results. What happens though when the not good people steal the technology or take control of the technology and use it for non-good? They use it in bad faith. That's the risk. That's the Pandora's box problem. Is yes, we've got this great thing. When we use it properly, the results are fantastic. The problem is it's going to attract all of the bad players to either get it or replicate it. Now that it's been done, okay, we can figure out how to reverse engineer it from afar. Or maybe we'll just figure out how to steal it. Or how to get the people who designed it, who built it, and force them to give it to us. That's the problem. Now, on the other hand, if we Heisenberg uncertainty principle type approach to it, observing a thing changes the thing. Now that we've talked about it, now that there are videos out there for Cognify, now it's sort of in the spotlight, or once it becomes in the spotlight, people start investigating the question, what does it take? Is it possible? What does it take to do it? How much does it cost? How long will it take? And there might be a way to persuade some bad players to fund that project. I don't think it's possible in 3 minutes to completely rewire somebody's brain, change their orientation to life. I don't think it's possible. People have nightmares that last hours, perhaps, and they don't really seem to change a person's life in the way Cognify claims that it can. All right, so moving right along, the Jesuits. Who are the Jesuits? Well, I like to say the Jesuits are an order of the Catholic Church, marginally. I don't say it like that because I'm kind of being sarcastic and facetious, and I'm put that emphasis on it because it's not really true. They're not marginally part of the Catholic Church. You could say they're the counterpoint when needed. And the church is going this way. They're the, well, what about this? And that could be evident with Galileo, perhaps, or with the Sandinistas, or with Lech Walesa. So one of the things Jesuits or people say about the Jesuits is there's a Jesuit on every side of the barricade. In Latin America, you'll have the Jesuits purportedly with the Sandinistas, with the Maranols, liberation theology, where in Europe, at the same time, they're fighting against the communists. You will hear Jesuits or people who know of Jesuits say things like, if you've met one Jesuit, you've met one Jesuit, meaning diversity. There are a lot of things that all Jesuits have in common. One would be educating people. Education is very important. Helping on social causes would be another one. Taking up the yoke of the poor, taking Jesus, Matthew 25, 35 through 40 or 30 through 40, taking that seriously. In the gospel, seriously. Well, in the United States, there are 28 Jesuit universities. Some of them, like Georgetown, are top, and Santa Clara, are top universities. Fordham is probably in that group. One or two of the Loyolas are in that group. But the least of these is still a good university. And strategically, historically, Jesuits opened universities in places, especially out in the Midwest and West, where if you were a Catholic, you would send your son, and you wanted your son to get a good, solid education, you would send them to a Jesuit university, like in Nebraska or Milwaukee or St. Louis or Denver, California, the Bay Area, Washington, Spokane. If you were a successful guy there who was Catholic, you would seriously consider sending your kid to a Jesuit university. Or if you're from Montana or Wyoming and you're Catholic and you want the kids to have a good education, you're leery of sending them to public university in your state or outside your state. It's a good way to create a cosmopolitan type of person, or at least they have roots to that. And so the number is, or used to be, 11% of the people in Congress, U.S. Congress, have graduated from a Jesuit university. Here in Nevada, our Senator Masto Cortez Masto, is graduated from Gonzaga. Nevada has a rich history of people educated at Jesuit universities. A couple governors, Kenny Gwynn, What was the airport before the new name? McLaren? No. Well, anyway, rich history in people from Jesuit universities. Another guy, Adam Laxalt. Oh, Paul Laxalt, Santa Clara. Adam Laxalt, I think Gonzaga. No, I think Georgetown. So a rich legacy. About 11% of people in Congress graduated from a Jesuit university. Bill Clinton, Georgetown. In my sphere of Santa Clara, Janet Napolitano was head of Homeland Security under President Obama. And Norm Panetta was head of the CIA, Santa Clara, at the same time. So when Obama was president, head of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano, and the head of the CIA, both Santa Clara graduates. Janet Napolitano was in my class at Santa Clara. Her father was in my father's class at Santa Clara, and they went to high school together in Oaktown. So who are these people? They are highly educated, 2 master's degree, one not in religion. Our spiritual director, Max Oliva, who's now in his 80s, earned his MBA from Berkeley. And his ministry has to do with business ethics. So how would you like to have a spiritual director helping you in your business ethics who has an MBA from Berkeley? Pretty good. Okay, but we're out of time. So we're going to say and cut. Maybe continue tomorrow.